The rat race is not mandatory, it's voluntary. No one is forcing you to run. You're doing it by choice, even if you don't realize it. That's what makes it so dangerous, because you can't escape something you secretly agree with. Most people imagine the rat race as a trap built by others, by the government, corporations, or society. But the truth is darker. The rat race isn't built by anyone else. It's built by you. Every time you trade curiosity for comfort, growth for security, truth for validation, you tighten your own cage. You think you're stuck, but you're not. You're comfortable. If this already feels like a truth no one ever told you, pause for a moment and follow rich logic. Because freedom doesn't begin with money, it begins with awareness. The rat race was never about money. It's about permission. You're not chasing wealth. You're chasing approval. From your boss, your peers, your parents, your followers. You call it success, but what you're really craving is reassurance that you're doing it right. That's why even when people make more money, they still feel trapped. They're not working to escape, they're working to maintain the illusion that they're ahead. But there is no ahead, because the finish line keeps moving. The rat race survives through one thing: fear. Fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of being judged for not playing the game everyone else worships. That's why most people never quit the race, not because they can't, but because they don't want to face what happens when they stop running. Because when the noise stops, you're left with silence. And in silence, you have to face yourself. The rat race doesn't punish rebellion, it punishes reflection. That's why the system glorifies busyness. Because if you're always busy, you'll never notice that your energy is being traded for illusions. You call it making a living. But are you? Or are you just earning the right to keep existing inside someone else's system? Most people don't want freedom, they want predictability. Freedom sounds romantic until you realize it requires responsibility. No one to blame, no one to guide you, no one to validate your worth. That's too much pressure for a mind raised on compliance. So instead of freedom, people choose familiarity. Instead of growth, they choose comfort. Instead of leadership, they choose direction. And then they wonder why their life feels heavy. You can't soar when your wings are tied to routine. If this message resonates, like this video and subscribe to Rich Logic. Because the first step out of the race is realizing you're not being chased, you're being distracted. The rat race doesn't look like a prison anymore, it looks like progress. It rewards you with promotions, titles, and tiny doses of validation. It gives you weekends to recharge, vacations to escape, and entertainment to numb the awareness that you're still running. You think you're advancing, but you're just changing treadmills. The speed increases, the scenery changes, but the destination doesn't. The race isn't about where you're going, it's about what you're avoiding. You're running not toward wealth, but away from fear. Fear of being irrelevant, fear of disappointing others, fear of discovering how much of your life isn't actually yours. That's why the system doesn't need walls. It just needs expectations. And you call those expectations goals. Every school, every job, every cultural script trains you to find safety in sameness. You're told to be ambitious, but only within boundaries. You're told to be independent, but not too different. You're told to dream big, but not bigger than the system that employs you. That's not education, that's domestication. They don't want free thinkers, they want efficient dreamers. People who stay just inspired enough to keep moving, but too afraid to ever stop and question why. The rat race is fueled by the illusion of scarcity. Scarcity of time, scarcity of opportunity, scarcity of love, success, belonging. You've been trained to believe there's not enough, so you compete instead of create. That's why the race never ends. It's not designed to be won. It's designed to keep you running. The prize isn't freedom, it's fatigue. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. The exit was never locked. It was just invisible, hidden behind fear and comfort. The door out of the rat race isn't at the end of the path. It's at the edge of awareness. You leave the race the moment you stop running from your own mind. The reason most people stay is because comfort feels safer than consciousness. The cage is warm. The routine is familiar. The paychecks are predictable. Why risk uncertainty when comfort is available now? Because comfort is the most dangerous addiction on earth. It doesn't kill you instantly. It kills you slowly by convincing you that mediocrity is peace. When you understand this, you realize the rat race doesn't need to trap you. It just needs to keep you entertained. Work hard, buy things, scroll endlessly, complain about politics, repeat. The system doesn't care if you're happy. It just needs you to stay engaged, because attention is the new labor, and distraction is the new control. Most people think the opposite of the rat race is luxury. It's not, it's clarity. Freedom isn't about quitting your job or moving off grid. It's about seeing the game for what it is, and choosing when to play, because the game only owns you when you think it's real. The moment you see the rules, you can bend them, or leave them. That's how the wealthy think. They still play the game, but they play consciously. They build systems instead of running inside them. To escape the rat race, you don't need more money, you need more meaning. Meaning is the one thing the system can't sell you. You have to create it yourself. That's why the race feels empty, because it replaces meaning with measurement. You stop asking, "Am I fulfilled?" and start asking, "Am I ahead?" And that's how you stay stuck forever. Busy, validated, but spiritually bankrupt. Here's the irony. You could stop running right now, and nothing would collapse except your illusion. Your bills wouldn't vanish, but your fear would. Your responsibilities wouldn't disappear, but your anxiety about them would. Because once you see the game, you realize you were never playing against others. You were playing against yourself. The rat race isn't a system. It's a mindset. And like all mindsets, you can uninstall it. But first, you have to face your addiction to control. You have to stop equating busyness with purpose and stillness with failure. Because only in stillness do you start hearing the voice you've been drowning in noise for years. And that voice doesn't want status. It wants truth. Freedom doesn't mean you stop working. It means you stop working for illusions. It means you work with awareness. You act from choice, not compulsion. That's what separates builders from runners. Builders use the race, runners are used by it. The question is, which one are you? You can't escape the rat race until you stop blaming it. Because blame is another form of submission. Every complaint, every excuse, every someday is an admission that you're still waiting for permission. But no one's coming to set you free, because no one locked you in. You volunteered, and the only way out is to volunteer your way out. Step off the track, feel the discomfort, face the silence, and start walking, not running, toward meaning. Because the race ends the moment you realize it was never mandatory. It was just comfortable. The rat race is voluntary, always has been. The question isn't how to escape it. The question is, how long will you keep pretending you have to run?